Hey howdy hey, how is everybody doing, and welcome back to Disney Daily. Tarzan was released in the year 1999 during the Renaissance era. It was Disney's 37th animated feature and was based off of a novel by Edgar Rice Burroughs. The movie is about a young orphan boy who is adopted by a kind gorilla named Kala. As Tarzan grows older, he struggles to understand his place amongst the animals, and the obvious differences between he and his gorilla family begin to become more apparent when a group of human explorers show up on the island. This movie, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated of the 90s and doesn't get enough credit. So today I'm going to show some appreciation for the movie Tarzan with 5 fast and interesting facts about the film. Number 5. Now in animation, it is normal for a movie to take years before it's actually released. And that time frame makes sense given how much time, work, and effort goes into making a film in its entirety. However, what if I told you it took 3 years just to decide on an opening scene? According to numerous sources, the creative team for Tarzan just couldn't decide how exactly they wanted to kickstart the story. In fact, the notorious opening sequence with baby Tarzan and his parents being shipwrecked was left out altogether in one of the original versions. Number 4. For those of you who don't know, Disney animation has gone through major evolutions over time, but perhaps one of the most notable occurred in the mid to late 90s. You see, animators started to experiment with adding 3D features to hand-drawn 2D images, but in order to really make the film look good, animators created a whole new rendering technique called deep canvas specifically for the backgrounds in Tarzan. This basically meant that creators could use CGI backgrounds that look like real-life paintings and then use 2D characters in front of it. This tool was really useful in scenes like Tarzan surfing through the trees, which, by the way, according to supervisor animator Glenn Keane, was Disney Animation's take on extreme sports. Additionally, Tarzan's exact movements were directly inspired by skateboard pro Tony Hawk. Number 3. I think most Disney fans know that the legendary Phil Collins is responsible for this truly amazing soundtrack that was both emotional and upbeat. Now, when you think of a songwriter like Collins creating music, you probably picture him in a soundproof studio somewhere. But what if I told you that the bulk of the Academy Award-winning song You'll Be in My Heart was crafted at a neighborhood Christmas party? As it turns out, Collins would start off the night by playing some notes on the piano, and what first started off as just playing for fun quickly turned into a full inspirational moment for his song. So he started to write down some chords and melodies on the back of some wrapping paper to ensure he wouldn't forget it. Number 2. Belle from Beauty and the Beast is related to Jane Porter. Now at first, a claim like this sounds bizarre and crazy, but the more I looked at the facts, the more I realized that this theory could very well be true. Belle and Jane have quite a few things in common, such as their sense of style, both choosing to wear a bright yellow gown, both women are highly educated and knowledgeable about the world around them, and they both have a strange attraction to wild men. But arguably one of the most supportive pieces of evidence that ties Belle to Jane is both Chip and Mrs. Potts are found in Jane's possession, which we see in the song Trashing the Camp. So this has led many to believe that these were family heirlooms passed on from Belle to Jane. Number 1. Now for as long as Disney has been around, we have had villains plummeting to their death. From the evil queen in Snow White after being chased by the dwarves, to Gaston trying to kill the beast in his castle, to Frollo literally falling into a sea of fire. And while all of these deaths are shocking, none of them are as gruesome as Clayton's from Tarzan. You see, Clayton's death is arguably one of the most disturbing in Disney animation history because not only does he fall to his demise, but we witness him hang to death and you actually see the shadow of his hanging body. I personally am not really sure why Disney Animation decided to show such a graphic scene. All I know is it disturbed me then and it still disturbs me now to this day. Well, that concludes this episode of Disney Daily. I hope you all learned something new. My question for you all is, who is your favorite character from Tarzan? As always, thanks for being my guest here at Disney Daily. Until next time.